know.
Just tell me where they're at, Cheyenne.
I don't know. Honest to God, I don't know.
Well, God's not here, okay, right? Is God here?
No.
So don't promise to God.
God's
I understand that.
I don't know where my daddy is. I don't know. I don't know where they are.
Mark Ivan Weekley was a father. Meredith Leanne Jesse was a little girl. And Cheyenne Nicole Jesse, daughter to one and mother to the other, reported them both missing. What followed was an investigation that would strip away every excuse and every misdirection she tried to offer. Today we're watching the interrogation footage that broke this case open. The detectives you're about to see didn't raise their voices. They didn't need to. They had the evidence, and they had patience. And Cheyenne? She had a story that couldn't survive either. This one's going to stay with you. If you want more cases like this, make sure you subscribe before we get started.
On a scale, I know that your daughter has issues, but on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you classify you and your daughter's relationship, 10 being the best?
I was trying to make it at least an 8, but she...
But realistically,
about
it's being
5.
A 5? Okay.
Because every time I go to hug her, she turns to violence towards me, and I'm like, okay. But when I come home from work and I'm tired, and I say, give me just a little bit, let me calm down from work, and then we can play. I used to take her out to do stuff when I had the money. We used to go see movies sometimes or go to a park, but then she started becoming a little weird when it comes to strangers. Like, she went up to a stranger and shaved him and told her whole, whatever she knew. If she knew her address, she probably would have told him that.
Where was that?
That happened at Lowe's when his parents took her with him to Lowe's while I was at work.
Oh, okay.
And he was
So
asleep.
his parents know your child too?
Yes.
Okay. And how would you classify Matthew's relationship with your daughter on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best?
He was trying to make it like a 10, but...
Of course, you don't want everything to be a 10.
Yeah, but he goes, I don't know how to deal with her. I've never really had a kid.
Right.
And he goes...
So that makes it better.
Basically, he's never alone with her. He goes, I don't want to be alone with her. But matter of fact, she's a little girl. There's people will accuse me of all different things. I'd rather just be safe, and he takes her with his family. And as long as she's buying him things, she's happy and she loves him. But when he says, well, I can't buy it, we have to pay bills, then she hates him. And then she tells him that only thing he's good for is money. And I said, no, he's trying to be a dad to you because your dad is with his other family right now. That's what I tell her. So that's why she doesn't feel like, well, my dad abandoned me.
So do you think it's better off for your child? You said he was going to be staying with your dad, or she was going to be staying with your father until maybe school starts. Do you think it was better off your daughter staying with him full time for you and your relationship? Do you think that's fair to say?
For mine and her relationship, we seem to be like almost at a 9. When me and my daughter.
Okay.
When she's with my dad.
Okay.
Because like my dad Grandpa came in some money, and then he had some money stashed up, so he can buy her what she wants when she wants, and she listens to his theory. She thinks all adults are stupid but Grandpa.
Okay. Did she tell you that?
Yeah, she's actually told me I'm
So
stupid.
do you think that, having said that, do you think it's better for you and your relationship with Matthew if she's with your dad full time?
We've actually been able to focus on our relationship instead of constantly looking over her shoulder. What's she going to do next? What's she going to destroy?
Right. So it does make y'all's relationship better?
Yeah. Okay. And we're not under a lot of stress.
Does it make you feel better if she's with your dad because she's better off, I guess?
Yeah, I can actually sleep at night.
All right, so right out of the gate, she's rating her relationship with her own daughter a 5. A 5. And then she spends the next few minutes explaining why Meredith was the problem. The kid was too clingy, too weird with strangers, too demanding. Notice how every single issue traces back to something the child did wrong. Not once does she reflect on her own failures as a parent. This is a woman building a case against a little girl who isn't here to defend herself. And that's not an accident.
So you drop on the Saturday the 18th, you dropped her off at your dad's. When's the next time that you talked to your dad?
I called him and it showed up where I called for like 30 seconds, but like.
What do you mean it showed up? What are you talking about?
On my caller thing, it says 30 seconds on there, and when it didn't seem like that long, but
Well,
he said something. He acted like he answered the phone and then like.
No, I understand, but we'll get to that. But when is the next time after the 18th that you called him? What date was it?
Sunday.
Sunday. What time? What time of that? Was it Sunday night?
It was around. I don't remember. It was around after. It was before I went to work. I can't remember.
Was it daytime?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And
I drove by the house. Everything looked fine.
no, hold on. So you called. You tried to come on Sunday. You tried to call him.
Yeah.
On Sunday. And what was the purpose of calling?
I just wanted to see.
To check up.
Yeah. Say, hey, did you give her medicine?
Mm-hmm.
I always make sure that I call him and ask him if he gives her medicine and everything.
Okay. And did you talk to him?
Like it sounded like he went and answered something with Meredith in the background, and then like.
So the phone rings, something picks up. The phone picks up.
Yeah.
Right? And he wasn't talking to you. It sounded like he was doing something.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you hear in the background?
I don't know what your mother sees that's wrong with you.
Okay. And then
I think my dad's been back talking to me behind my back. My kid, his wife, she probably also.
okay. So you heard that, but you said when did you look at your phone and saw 30 seconds?
Not that long ago, like yesterday, I was looking through and trying to figure out, okay, how long did I talk to you on this day here? Because what days did he not answer his phone? And then
So did you talk to him again did you try to call him? Did you ever talk to him on Sunday after that call?
No.
Okay, did you talk to him on Monday?
No.
Did you try to call him on Monday?
I had Matthew try, and I asked him, I said, can you try to call my daddy while I go to work?
Okay. Did you try to call him again on Monday?
No, I didn't try myself. I drove by there, and they weren't home, and the house looked exactly like it did whenever you guys showed up.
When did you tell him she was supposed to be at the doctor? Did you tell him Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay.
I told him, I said, I'll text you if I can remember, if my phone will allow me to text. And I also, the trailer park number, if you can, if you still have it, can you, like.
You texted him this stuff?
No, I talked to him.
Okay, in person on Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me know anything. And then all of a sudden, when I came home and on the 22nd.
No, we're not to the 22nd. We're still on the 20th.
Oh.
So on the 20th, you didn't try to call him?
No.
Okay. You worked on the 20th though?
Yeah.
But I thought you said earlier you tried to call him on the 20th, whenever the doctor's office called you.
Yeah, I don't remember. All the days run together in my head.
No, I understand. But do you remember you telling me that on the 20th you tried to call him after the doctor's? Okay. But you didn't talk. You couldn't get through to him, right?
No.
Did you talk to him anymore on Monday?
No.
Okay. Did you try to call him anymore on Monday?
His phone was going to voicemail. I figured he was mad at me.
Okay. And that's plausible. But do you remember trying to call him on Monday later on more?
No.
Now we're watching her try to account for her phone activity, and it is genuinely painful. She can't remember if it was Sunday or Monday. She can't remember if she called or didn't call. She drove by the house but didn't stop. She had Matthew call instead of calling herself. Every answer is a hedge, wrapped in confusion, wrapped in deflection. Here's the thing. Phone records don't forget. They don't run together. They're timestamps with no agenda, and detectives already have them. She's not fighting the officers here. She's fighting math, and math is undefeated.
You went over to the house any of these days while the rats were there, that I guess that first day you went there and you threw it away. Was that the only thing that was smelling that y'all threw away?
No, I found a coon underneath the house. I took it out and threw it.
You found a what? A raccoon?
Yeah.
A dead one?
Yeah.
Underneath the house?
Yeah.
How'd you find that under the house? Why'd you look under there?
Because I was trying to figure out where that smell was coming from.
Okay.
I looked around right there. I cleaned up dog shit.
But it wasn't dog shit. That smelled that bad.
Yeah.
So the rats were dead in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And there was a dead raccoon under the house.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you look at the house? How'd you do that?
My dad's flashlight.
No, how'd you? Is there lattice or covering around it?
It's got one spot that's broken right there. As soon as you look underneath there.
Broken like how?
Like it's been bent. Like someone's been underneath there.
Okay. Is it all the way on the ground or?
No, it's just like bent. Like where someone's been reaching underneath there.
So you looked under there with the flashlight and you saw a dead raccoon?
Yeah.
Where was it at under there? How far?
Right by the air vent.
I don't know where that's at. How far did you have to crawl under there?
I took a big long thing and shoved it underneath there to pull it out.
What did you use to pull it out?
It's like one of the thingies that you go and you cut trees with or something. Like
A pole saw?
Yeah, that thingy.
Okay. Like a manual pole saw?
Yeah.
And you stuck that under and drug it out?
Yeah.
Okay. What'd you do with the raccoon?
I threw it out in the woods.
You did?
Yeah.
Where at in the woods? Like if I'm looking at the house, what side of the house was the raccoon on? Front, back, side?
Here's the house. Here's where that is.
No, do it here so like if that borders the house, never mind it, I don't know what all the stuff is in there. But if that borders the front of the house, we're in the street, what side of the house was the raccoon on?
Yeah, we're looking at the house from the street.
Yeah.
Okay, that side.
The left side?
Yeah.
Okay. And
I just chalked it out there. I don't know where it went.
so you took, if this is the side of the house, this is the bottom of the house down here, you're over here, you see the raccoon, you pull it out, you throw it in the woods over here?
Yeah.
Okay. How far in there did it go?
I don't roughly know. I just.
Okay. Was that the same night you found the rats?
Yeah.
Where'd you throw the rats out in the woods too?
Yeah. I just.
Nothing else, was the house pretty clean other than that? No food left out or anything?
No, nothing left out except for the hamburger meat that was inside the sink that I threw out in the trash can Thursday because there was like maggots and stuff.
Okay.
Because Friday morning is trash night.
But was the house pretty clean though? Did you did you do any cleaning?
No, sir.
Okay.
I sprayed the floor with roach killer spray because of fleas being bad in the house.
When did you do that?
I do that every time I walk in the house.
Oh, so he's got roach killer there?
Yeah.
Okay. You didn't go buy any or anything like that?
I bought some extra ones for him, and I bought some bombs to throw off in the house,
When
too.
did you do that? When did you buy those?
I don't remember. I bought it for my job. I bought some boxes so that's why we can pack some of his stuff up.
This is after you left, you bought the
Yeah.
bombs?
Yeah.
Did you buy any cleaning stuff?
I bought laundry soap for us to use at the house so I could wash my clothes.
No, did you buy any other cleaning stuff for your dad's house?
No, just basically I bought paint for mine and Cody's place when we were fixing to paint our bedroom to lighten it up in there. I bought the boxes and some tape to box up some of his stuff since he wanted to get rid of it all. He was just going to throw it into a storage unit with my name on it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'd be like, hey, here's your stuff. You know, I don't really want to get rid of your stuff. Here it is. You do with it. It's yours.
So what kind of bombs did you buy at Lowe's?
Little fogger, the purple ones.
Like just single ones or they come in package?
It comes in like a 3 package.
Okay. How many packages did you buy?
2 of them.
What else did you buy? For the house?
I bought some air freshener and some
Why'd you do
candles. My dad's house always stinks.
Does it always smell like dead animals?
Like, well, he's dealt with rats before, and he smokes constantly, and like propane smell from him using it on the stove.
Okay.
Because his stove went out from roaches.
Dead rats, a dead raccoon, roach killer, flea spray, air fresheners, candles, fogger bombs. And oh yeah, her dad's house just always smells like that because of the cocaine residue on the stove. She's not explaining a pest problem. She's cataloging every chemical and excuse she can think of to justify why that house might smell like death. This is what desperation sounds like when it's improvising. She bought cleaning supplies and bombs right after her father and daughter vanished. That's not housekeeping. That's evidence management with a receipt.
Okay.
It's kind of another
Is it
reason
a
I
gas
moved in with
stove?
my fiance.
Is it a gas stove?
It was electric stove.
Okay.
The little thingy up here that tells you the time and everything, it won't let you push to turn it on or anything or do anything with it.
So you bought the air freshener, candles, and 2 packages of bombs?
Yeah.
Okay.
I set them off so this way the house could, like, get rid of the roaches and stuff.
When did you do that?
I set them off before I went and picked Cody up Friday.
On Friday?
Yeah.
So now we're onto the stove. She's explaining her broken microwave and her electric stove, as if any of this matters. But here's what she doesn't realize. Or maybe she does, and that's why she's rambling about appliances. Cell towers don't care about your stove. Phone records have already mapped where she was and when she was there. Every ping is a timestamp. Every call is a coordinate. She's talking about fogger bombs and broken displays, while investigators are holding a complete GPS diary of her movements. The technology has already outpaced every story she's trying to tell.
But do you know how cellular cell phones work? Do you know how these work? They don't have a plug like a house phone, do they? They don't have like a cord and stuff, right?
No, they're wireless.
Right. Do you know how the wireless works though?
Yeah, it bounces off the satellite, right?
Sort of. Have you
Or
ever
cell
seen those
towers or...
cell towers? Have you ever seen those cell towers? They're tall, they get like things coming off of them.
Yeah.
That's what your cell phone uses, okay?
Yeah.
If you live in an area where you don't get that much signal
Yeah.
on your phone, it's like sometimes it doesn't work, why do you think that is?
Because you're in a bad area and
Well, what do you mean by bad area?
like maybe there's like it's not picking up the frequencies or something like that.
Do you think maybe because there's not a tower nearby?
Probably.
Okay. If you were in the middle of the desert and there were no cell phone towers, do you think your cell phone's going to work?
No.
Okay. So the only way your cell phone works is by cell towers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you drive from your house, let's say there's a cell tower in your front yard. I'm not saying there is.
Okay.
Let's say there's a cell tower in your front yard. Do you think your phone is going to be using that cell tower at your house?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think if you drive to Plant City and go to Lowe's, do you think your cell phone is going to be using that same tower?
No.
Because what?
There might be another one probably or
Closer?
yeah.
Okay. So
My dad explained it to me.
he did?
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
He wanted me to learn.
When did he explain that to you?
Whenever I first got a cell phone.
Okay. So having said that, if your dad, he lives 45 minutes from you, say?
Yeah.
So it's several miles, and I know I'm familiar with, you're up way up on 98 North, right?
Yeah.
Almost to a different county, right?
Yeah.
And your dad is all the way down south, almost to a different county, right?
Yeah.
Like Hillsborough County, which is Plain
Yeah.
City and stuff. So do you think that if you're talking to him on your cell phone at your house, and he's talking to you on his cell phone in his house, do you think both of you guys are using the same tower?
No.
Okay. So when you're traveling, we've learned that when you're traveling, your phone is going to use the closest tower. Okay.
Right.
I'm telling you that because whenever your dad's phone is being used, we're going to get all those phone records.
Okay.
We're also going to get all your phone records. Okay. We're also going to get all Matthew's phone records or Cody's phone records, and it's going to show you, it's going to show us everybody you're calling and texting, whether the phone call went through or not, and where you were when you made those phone calls. Same thing with your dad's phone. Okay. We're going to see text messages. If stuff is deleted, it's not deleted. The stuff might be deleted off the phone, but it's still on your computer somewhere. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if I text him a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I
you know?
found that weird that all of his text messages were kind of blank, and I have been, like Josh said that he's been seeing this guy rides down the road with a bicycle too.
What is it? Where? What do you mean?
Like every day there's the guy that rides down the road in a
What road?
Drainfield.
Okay. What does that mean?
I don't know. I was just thinking that.
Well, that guy that you just said has nothing to do with this case.
Yeah.
Okay? Zero. That guy doesn't exist.
Okay.
So,
I was just thinking of different
I know, but
things.
here's the deal is
off
that,
my head.
so we're going to be able to see all if you get stuff deleted off the phone, we're gonna be able to see the text messages and everybody called and stuff and whatever. It stays in the computer, okay? And this goes back for years, okay? So we'll be able to get stuff from last week and the week before that and all that stuff. We're also, I'm concerned about a lot of stuff here, Cheyenne, okay? And I'm not saying you're a bad person at all. I know you have a very tough life, okay? Having to deal with your daughter and their situations. And do you love your daughter?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I love her with all my heart.
All right. But I know you're having a tough time with that, and it's affecting your relationship, because you said that even with your daughter not there, it's made it better for you and Cody to work on your problems and get better as a unit.
So we can handle her.
Right.
And there it is, the cell tower lecture. Detective walks her through wireless technology like she's a child learning why the sky is blue, and you can see her posture shift, because she knows what's coming. All that rambling about fogger bombs and broken microwaves? Useless. Her phone pinged towers that told a completely different story than the one she rehearsed. And then he asks if she loves her daughter. With all my heart, she says. The same daughter whose body was found because of those pings. The technology didn't just catch her in a lie, it caught her in a confession she never intended to make.
But I have here's what I know. I have a weird suspicion that that we're not going to find a raccoon in the woods by your dad's house, are we?
I threw one out there.
Are we going to find a raccoon that you threw out there, Cheyenne?
It should be out there. I don't know if it is. There's animals that run wild out there. I don't know.
So if it's not there, an animal can be got it.
I don't know. I don't know what goes on in my neighborhood.
Well, we know a dead raccoon is not going to be picked up by the guy on the bicycle, right?
No.
So I'm saying if it's not there, you're saying it's got to be the animals that got it, right?
I threw one out there. That's all I know.
I know. Are we going to find it out there?
It should be able to find one out there.
But if it's not out there, where does it go? How did it leave?
Probably another animal.
Okay. I don't think that, to be honest with you, I don't think that you found a dead raccoon under the house. Number one, because you already said that you found rats in the house, which I do not believe. Okay? So if you got the rats out, what would make you look, and you said that was what was thinking.
Yeah.
And you said that the meat had maggots on it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that the garbage can does not smell anything like rotten meat was in there. That stuff smells horrible. Horrible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I cook a lot of stuff in my house. Okay, a lot of meat. That's all, and I eat a lot of food, as you can tell, right? I throw meat and bones in my, you're not supposed to, because if it's not in a bag, they don't like it. But I still do it. Okay, I don't follow all the rules and stuff, but I'll throw meat in my garbage can and it rots and all this. It gets real disgusting, as you know. Mm-hmm. But that smell does not go away. It doesn't just disappear unless you clean it out with bleach and put special perfumes in there and all that stuff. But we had guys out there smell in that garbage can. It didn't smell anything like rotten meat. That would lead me to believe that there was no rotten meat there.
I threw it out in there.
Okay. That would lead me to believe there's no rotten meat in there.
The raccoon. She's actually going with the raccoon defense. Let me explain what's happening here because it's almost impressive in its absurdity. Investigators found blood evidence at her father's property, blood that needed explaining. And her answer? A dead raccoon she claims she threw into the woods. The detective isn't buying it for a second. And honestly, neither should you. He points out the garbage can doesn't smell like rotting meat. Because it never contained rotting meat. It contained evidence of something far worse. She's not explaining away a pest problem. She's trying to explain away a crime scene.
You made it perfectly clear that your daughter's in a better place with your dad, didn't you?
But
you made it perfectly clear that that's the deal.
But if I would have just known that he's gonna run off, like.
And I know why. I'm gonna tell you, Cheyenne. I know why you decided to go get all these bug sprays and air fresheners. Okay, it's not because dead rats were in there. You think them rats just happened to die there right when your dad left? Do you think your dad's going to be in the house with dead rats with your daughter? Doesn't your dad love your daughter? He made it perfectly clear, according to you, that he wanted to spend his last year of his life with his granddaughter.
Yeah.
Why would he have her walking around with dead rats in the house? That's because that's not what happened. That's not what happened. I know why you got the bug killer and the cleaners. And I know that the house was cleaned up. And I know that your dad did not put those sheets on the couch. I know that. That's impossible. That's impossible. Because what's on that couch, if what's on that couch would have went through those sheets. So the sheets weren't just been, you know what you see what I'm saying? What's on that couch, if your dad had sheets on there, if your dad had sheets on the couch and something happened, that's going to be on the sheets. Okay? I'm telling you right now, I just need you to be honest with me. I don't think you found a dead raccoon. Okay? I really don't think that. I think you were probably near or under the house, but I think that you know where your dad and your daughter is. And if you say that you don't now, but we later on we show that you do know, that doesn't show any love whatsoever in my book, regardless of what happened. If you have no remorse whatsoever for anything to do with her disappearance, that makes you look bad. That makes you, people will be like, she don't care about them. She doesn't love them. But people make mistakes all the time. And if you show remorse for that, then, you know, we can understand that. Okay? But I just need to know from you, because it's going to look bad if something happened. That's what I'm saying. And you know we're talking to Cody and Cody's dad.
Yeah.
And I don't know what Cody's saying right now. I'm going to find out. But if he's telling a different story and your stories don't match, then I know you're lying. Okay? I just want you to be honest, and now's the time. Now's because I don't want Cody telling on you for something and you taking some blame for something. But I'm going to tell you right now, husbands and wives, best friends, they do it all the time. They're not going to get in trouble. They're going to place blame on somebody else. And I think what he's going to say, he's going to tell us what happened, and he's going to blame it on you. He's going to say it was your idea because it's your kid. What happened?
I left my daughter with my dad.
What happened? I know you left him with your dad. What happened?
I don't know.
Cheyenne, I'm telling you.
I did find rats there.
Okay.
I did get rid of them.
You didn't find a raccoon though, did you?
There was a raccoon underneath there.
But you didn't throw it in the woods. Because there's no evidence of that. We have people there now. There's no evidence of that whatsoever. Zero. You didn't throw meat in the garbage can because there was no meat in the house that was rotten. Do you know how long it takes for meat to rot? Like that?
I don't think not that long. I don't know.
How long do you think?
I know we put some out in the trash can at our house, and there was.
I'm not talking about a trash can. I'm talking about if I took. How big was the package of meat?
It was about like this big.
And what kind of meat was it?
It was from.
What kind of meat was it?
Ground beef.
Okay. And that was where? In the sink?
Yeah.
Inside the house?
Yeah, and it was like kind of like looking, like dark color.
Okay. But there wasn't maggots and stuff on it. It's impossible. What night was it that you found that? Wednesday night?
Thursday.
No, you said Wednesday.
Yeah.
You said Wednesday night after Cody told you that about the text messages supposedly, and I don't buy that either. He's not going to have text messages on his phone that your dad is leaving the state with your beloved daughter, okay, because he has a year to live. He's not going to tell you that because he forgets stuff. You don't forget stuff. That's huge. That's huge. A man, your dad, okay, whether it be your dad or not, your dad is taking your daughter out of the state because he's dying, according to him. And he's going to change phones and all this stuff, allegedly, and all this stuff.
Here's what the detective is actually doing. He's not asking questions anymore. He's laying traps. Watch how he pivots from the raccoon, to the couch, to the sheets, to Cody, all in one breath. He's showing her that every single thread she's pulling is already unraveling. And the beauty of this technique is that it forces her to defend multiple lies simultaneously. She can't keep them all straight. Nobody can. That's the point. He knows she's guilty. Now he's just waiting for her to prove it herself.
I don't even think your dad sent those text messages, if they even exist. Did Cody delete them?
No.
You're still on his phone.
They're still on Cody's phone.
Here's what I'm going to see when I look at the phones. I can promise you this, okay? I can promise you, if they're on Cody's phone or whatever your dad, whatever text messages that or phone calls you made from your phone, if you really did to your dad, this is what we're going to see on the records. We're not going to see anything at all because it just didn't happen. Or we're going to see your dad's phone in the same place your phone is, in the same place Cody's phone is. That means that those phones are near each other and together. And the only way that would be happening is if your dad was sitting next to you, texting you or calling you, and people don't do that, they turn and talk to them, right?
No, me and my dad, we sit in the same room, we'll send each other's text messages.
Okay, but these text messages are talking about going to Georgia and stuff, but it was not sent from the same room.
That's why I was
So,
wondering.
no, I'm wondering, what we're wondering is what happened, because we're going to be able to put all that together, okay? I'd rather not waste my time and find the daughter that you love, that it seems like I care more about right now, and I want to find your father that it seems like I care more about right now. I want to find them.
I want to find them too.
Okay, but I need you to tell me the truth. You know what happened to them, and I need you to be honest with me. What happened?
I don't know.
Cheyenne, I'm telling you, you know that, here's what's the deal with the meat situation. It takes about 2 weeks, okay, for meat, like raw meat. I'm not talking about humans. It takes about 2 weeks for raw meat to get that way, okay? When you dropped your daughter off at your dad's house and you went inside and stuff, was there meat in the
Yeah, there's meat in the sink.
There's meat in the sink, okay?
Yeah, and he says, I don't know about this meat, it looks kind of gross.
Okay, oh, so he left it there when he left? And he left dead rats on the floor when he left? Really? Come on, Cheyenne. Just be honest. Be honest. And I'm telling you right now, just be honest. Because if you're not honest, and we find out you had something to do with the disappearance with your father and your daughter, it's going to make you look like a horrible person. Do you think you're a horrible person?
No.
Yes or no?
I feel like a horrible mother let my dad
Do you
take
think
her.
you're a horrible person in general?
No, I do everything that God, and I do everything like, I work hard, I try
Okay,
to
well
make
then keep
everything.
doing it. Then keep doing it, being a good person, because right now you're not. Okay, if you do everything by the book and work hard and you're a great person and you know all that stuff, then do the right thing.
I'm telling you what I remember and what I know.
Okay, but you're not going to forget the disappearance of your mother, or excuse me, of your father and your daughter, how that happened. So I want you to tell me how it happened.
All I know is that
And I know you didn't do it by yourself. Where are they? Let's just start with that. Just tell me where they're at, because we're going to find them.
I don't know.
Just tell me where they're at, Cheyenne.
I don't know, honest to God, I don't
Well,
know.
God's not here, okay, right? Is God here?
No.
So don't
Oh,
promise to God.
God's
I
not.
understand that, but He's not going to be able to tell me that you're telling the truth. I just want to know where they're at.
I don't know where they are. I don't.
Are they at the house? Is that what stinks?
I don't see them at the house. I looked through
Here's the deal.
everywhere.
Something happened at the house. I know that.
Notice how he just said, God's not here. That's not callousness. That's a detective who's watched too many guilty people swear on their children's lives while knowing exactly where those children are buried. And here's the thing about Cheyenne's I don't know defense. She reported them missing. She called police. She initiated this entire investigation. You don't get to play the concerned daughter and then claim total amnesia about what happened inside your own father's house. The timeline doesn't allow for both.
Prove to me that you're a halfway decent mother and tell me the truth, because this is not going away, okay? This is not going away. We'll be right back.
Listen. There's parts of your story, and there's parts of this whole thing that's not adding up. Take the blue bolts right. You're not being truthful. You know it, and we know it. But you're not telling the truth. Listen, you know it, and we know it. Here's how I know. Because you're not concerned. Like, hear me out. Like he said, you're not crying. You went to your dad's house on the 22nd because you thought he took your daughter out of state. You didn't bother calling the sheriff's office so we can go look for your daughter. That means you're not concerned. Then you went to a storage unit to remove your personal property so you can go sell it or get rid of it or donate it or where you were. And again, you didn't call the sheriff's office. And then that weekend you went and hung out with one of your friends for Saturday and Sunday. Had a good time and hung out. Never called the sheriff's office. Alright? A week goes by. You never call the sheriff's office. You never tell us that you're concerned. Your dad's gone. Your daughter's gone. You can't get a hold of them. Now almost another week's gone by. And you finally call. Alright? You were so concerned on the first day that he was gone that you went down there in the evening after everybody had worked, packed up the dog to make sure the dog's alright. But you didn't take any precautions to call us.
Cheyenne, let me ask you a question. Why did you ask Cody at Walmart if he thinks the body would fit in a 55-gallon drum? Why did you ask him that?
I didn't ask him.
You didn't ask him that?
No.
Did you ask him about maggots?
No.
You didn't ask him that?
No.
He's lying.
I don't remember.
He's lying? Did you go in the bathroom at the house? Where did the shovel come from? Where did the shovel come
I don't know. There was
Cheyenne.
a shovel in the bathroom when I went in there. It was
from?
weird.
Where was that?
There's a shovel outside.
Why was there a shovel in the bathtub? Cheyenne, why was there a shovel in the bathtub? It's time to get real now. Why was there a shovel in the bathtub?
I don't know.
Did you put it there? Did you put it there? Just tell me. Why did you put it there?
Excuse me.
Why did you put it there?
I didn't put it there.
Yes, you did. I know you did. I just want you to tell me why. Why is the shovel in the bathtub?
There's a shovel outside. There's no shovel in the bathtub.
Is it outside now?
Yeah, that's where it's been.
Why was there a shovel in the bathtub? Don't look over there. Look at me. Why is there a shovel in the bathtub? Why would you ask Cody, can a body fit a 55-gallon drum? Really? Really? I couldn't even make that up. Why was there a shovel in the bathtub?
The shovel. A shovel in the bathroom. And she doesn't even flinch at the question. Here's what the detective just slipped in there that matters. Cody. He asked if she inquired about pleading the fifth and about maggots. Those aren't random questions you ask a Walmart coworker. Those are questions someone asks when they're trying to figure out how much trouble they're in and how long until a body is discovered. She says he's lying. But Cody has no reason to fabricate that conversation. Cheyenne has every reason to deny it.
Cheyenne, why was there a shovel in the bathtub?
I don't know. There wasn't one when I went in there.
Cheyenne,
Used the
why
bathroom.
was there a shovel in the bathtub?
There was not a shovel in the
Yes, there
bathtub.
was. Did you mess with the shovel outside?
There's a shovel outside.
What'd you do with it?
There's a shovel right outside the back door.
What'd you do with it?
Nothing.
Why'd you notice that?
Because that's where Daddy keeps all his stuff. Like, I
What'd you-
noticed everything on
What'd
the
you do with the
property.
shovel?
Nothing.
Did Cody tell the truth now? Because I know the answer to this. Did Cody give you an ultimatum? Do you know what that means? Do you know what the ultimatum means?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Like, you gotta choose this or this.
Did he give you that about your daughter? Did he say you need to tighten up with your daughter or else? Did he tell you that?
Yeah.
Why did he tell you that?
Because she needed help and we needed to figure out what's wrong with her.
So he told us that. But he told you he gave you an ultimatum because he can't deal with it. He said you better tie it up or he's gone, right?
Yeah.
So he told us that. He also told us that you asked about the 55-gallon drum. So why would he tell us that and lie about that? Why did you ask him that? Why did you ask him that?
I didn't ask
Why
him
did you
about
ask
it.
him
I
that?
asked him if a Christmas tree, a big Christmas tree could fit in there because we have a 7-foot Christmas tree in the storage unit.
To fit in where?
Into the big tote.
What tote?
The tote at Walmart.
You bought a tote at Walmart?
No. I bought a tote at Walmart, but it's for the picture albums and it's a little blue one. It's inside the camper.
Okay.
But I didn't buy that big one. I was.
Why did you ask him that? If a person would fit in there? You didn't say anything about a Christmas tree. Because if you did, if you were asking about a Christmas tree, you already got it out of storage and you went there. Did you get it?
No, because it's
Okay.
buried.
So then why are you even worried? Why would you even ask him that? It's in storage. What were you going to do with it? Why did you ask him if a body would fit in the barrel? Why did you ask him that?
I don't remember asking him that. I don't remember asking him that at all.
Could you have asked him that?
I don't know. Probably.
What's up with the shovel?
There was just shovel outside the house. Or,
Why was it in this bathtub?
I don't know.
Did you wash it off?
No.
Have you ever touched the shovel?
And I helped dig crap out of the dog's pen with it. To clean her pen up where she ain't stepping in
Why
it.
did you put it in the bathtub? I know you put it in the bathtub. I just want to know why. Why would someone put a shovel in the bathtub? I want to know why the shovel was in the bathtub.
I'm telling you
I
what
want to know
know.
why the shovel was in the bathtub. And I want you to tell me the truth.
I'm telling you what
Let's
I
just
know.
start with that. You don't know.
Did she just say she asked Cody if a body would fit in a barrel? And her response is, I don't remember asking him that. Not, I never said that. Not, that's insane. Just, I don't remember. This is a woman who can recall every dead rat and Fogger bomb receipt, but draws a blank on whether she discussed body disposal logistics with a coworker. The Christmas tree deflection is almost impressive in its desperation. She's trying to explain why she asked about fitting things in containers by pivoting to holiday decorations. But investigators already know what she was really measuring. And that shovel in the bathtub? You don't wash garden tools in the tub unless you're cleaning off something you don't want seen.
When are you going to tell the truth, Cheyenne?
I'm telling the truth.
You're not. Why was there a shovel in the bathtub?
There was no shovel in the bathtub. It was outside.
Okay. That's Cody again. Call him a liar.
Cheyenne.
It's a relationship.
What?
I didn't do nothing.
Cheyenne, look at me. What are you saying?
Why are you guys trying to, like, put words in our mouths that we didn't say?
That's not what's happening. Detective Newbold is coming here and asking you questions based on what Matt said or Cody. I told you we were going to talk to everybody. If stories don't match up, we know somebody's lying, right? Look at me. Where's your dog? Where's your dog?
Well, it's not saying she's my dad. It's all over.
Where?
They were in the house in LA.
Where in the house?
They were sitting in the living room.
In what condition?
I was talking to them when I left.
Were they talking back?
Yeah.
Cheyenne. Tell me the truth.
That's what I remember. That's all I remember.
Listen. We both know that's not the truth. Alright. Look at me.
What I remember.
Where's Meredith? Look at me. Where's Meredith?
Don't know, dude.
Where's your daddy?
I know where my daddy is. But don't
upset, when people are genuinely upset and they cry, they have tears. You don't have any. So listen. You unpacked your storage unit. You went shopping for totes and cleaning supplies and all this other stuff, and you went hanging out with your friends, and you did all this stuff, and you were so concerned that you went to the bank, but you never called us. It's time just to be truthful. You've been living this life for 2 weeks. Tell us the truth.
Oh, hey.
Listen. Last 2 weeks have sucked pretty bad, huh?
They don't know where they are.
No, not because you don't know where they are. Because you're living a lie. You're living a lie. Okay? It's time for that lie to end. It's time for you to help us find Meredith. Listen, it's time.
I know. I don't know.
Cheyenne.
I don't know. Honest to God, I don't know.
Quit holding your face down in your hands. Look at me.
No. I've cried so much over the rest of the day.
No, that's not the case. Just tell us the truth. Don't say that's all I can remember, because that's not. You remember exactly what happened. You just don't want to say. I think it's easier for you to lie to us than tell us the truth, because I think it's difficult for you to say. Just tell us the truth. I know it's hard. I know it's going to be real tough to tell me the truth. I know you want to. I don't think you're a bad person.
2 weeks. She's known this guy for 2 weeks, and she's already asking him about body disposal. That timeline matters, because it means this wasn't some panicked improvisation after an accident. She was planning. And now, at the end of all this, the dead animals and the fogger bombs and the Christmas trees, she's still saying, I didn't do anything. But here's what investigators have already assembled. Phone records placing her at the scene, blood evidence she can't explain, witnesses confirming conversations she denies having. The detective isn't guessing. He's just waiting for her to stop pretending.
I know it's going to be tough to tell me the truth.
I always had to defend myself from my daddy.
What's that?
I always had to defend myself from my daddy, so I told him when I left, take care of my daughter, because I can't take care of her no
You
more.
had to defend yourself from your dad?
A lot of times,
What does that mean?
like my dad used to go, like he hit me so hard I couldn't hear in my ear when he kicked down the door when I was little.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, honest to God, like my ex-boyfriend could tell you, but I don't have his phone number anymore.
Did that happen recently?
That happened when I was 17.
Did it happen recently?
My
Were you
dad,
defending yourself?
my dad's always gotten angry at me and yelled and like gets in my face and he punches the wall and stuff. And I've always had the coward in the corner.
Did he yell at you when you dropped Meredith off?
Yeah.
So tell me what happened then. If you had to defend yourself from your dad since you were a kid, tell me what happened.
I always had to I try to push him away when he runs away from me. That leaves me alone.
So if you've had to defend yourself every time he yells at you because he's been abusive, is that what you said?
Yeah.
So was he abusive when you dropped Meredith off? Or just verbally?
Yeah, just verbally, and then he punches and throws things. And he said that you're a horrible mom for just dropping your kid off and leaving. Like your mother. You're just like your mother. You drop your kid off and you leave her. And I'm like, now I ask you to take her for me.
Did you feel you had to defend yourself then?
I always have to defend myself when I'm around my daddy. Always.
Always?
Yeah.
Even then?
Every day I talk to my dad and I have to defend myself, but he's always calling my mother, or he's always getting on to me, telling me how worthless I am and everything.
So what did he say when you dropped Meredith off?
He said that I'll take care of her and don't you worry about it. And I'll do this and this and this, and a lot of things I just kind of blocked out of my head because my daddy is yelling at me again. He yells at me all the time, even when I'm just, like, I just get on to her for, hey, stop that, you're getting on to her again, you're gonna wind up like your mother. No, I'm not like my mother. I'm not like my mom, and I love them, and I'm not freaking lying.
You're not lying about what?
Anything. I don't remember things. I have a horrible memory. I try to remember as much as I can, but that's, like, my mind just doesn't let me remember. I've been hit so much, like, I don't remember things. Like, I'll be driving down the road and I'll black out. And I see now I'm in another lane and I'm like, oh crap. Cody asks me what's wrong with you when I'm driving, and they're like, hey, you're going another lane. And it's just like, it's not bad, but like I go into a daze because I don't know, like I just start, I feel so worthless with my dad around. He always calls me that. He always like threatens to, like he says one day I'll find out that you're an unfit mother, that you can't take care of her, and if you ever go to sign her away, I'll take her from you, and you'll never get her back.
When did he tell you that?
He told me that like last time, the first time she got vaporized. And then I confronted him about everything, and then he said, oh, I was just mad and stuff like that. And I'm like, but it didn't seem like you were like mad and stuff. Like my dad's actually like.
Well, didn't you tell him that you were thinking about signing your rights over to somebody that could take care of her?
Yeah. And that's when he said, well, yep, you're definitely like your mama then. If you want to just pass your kid off on to somebody else.
She's pivoting to childhood trauma now. And look, I want to be clear about something. Abuse is real. Generational violence leaves scars that shape people in profound ways. But Cheyenne isn't explaining her behavior. She's auditioning excuses. The blacking out while driving, the memory gaps, the constant need to defend herself. Every single detail is designed to build a foundation for diminished responsibility before anyone's even asked her what happened to her daughter. The detective sees it. He's letting her construct a defense that the evidence will demolish.
Hey, why have you been carrying your gun over there?
Because I don't like it being at the house whenever I'm with Meredith at my house, so I leave it with him, where it's like totally away from her.
With who? With
my daddy.
Okay. But where's that now?
It's at the trailer.
When did you get it back from your dad?
When I went and got my daughter.
You didn't tell us about you picked up a gun. That gun, you told us about the rifles.
Yeah. And I did it then too. Like,
why did you ask Cody how long it would take for maggots to eat a body?
I don't remember asking that. I don't remember asking that.
And both of you guys saw the shovel in the tub, and you took it out right away when y'all saw it. So why was the shovel in the tub?
I don't remember that. I just remember the shovel was outside. I don't remember.
You know what you don't remember, Cheyenne? You don't remember things that don't look good. So when you got this raccoon, look at me, Cheyenne, please. When you got this raccoon from under the house, Cody wasn't even there. You told him about it later, right? You told him.
My days were jumbled together.
Okay, but was Cody there when you moved this raccoon, or did you just tell him later?
I don't remember. I think he was at the house when I told him about it. I don't remember. All my stuff that I do, everything's like, my days just run together now. I don't sleep at night hardly because I'm laying there in bed and I'm trying to find out where, I'm texting family finding out, and then I just pass out and I wake up and I fall asleep and I wake up and I fall asleep and I wake up, and I haven't been sleeping good in the past 3 months. My boss actually asked me what's wrong with you. I said I'm just tired.
So, Cheyenne, this isn't going away.
I don't know what happened.
Listen, it's going to be tough, to be honest. I know it's going to be tough.
I know that sometimes when my daddy doesn't text me, I do black out. I do. Because I don't remember parts of times, and it's like one time it's 1 o'clock, next time it's like 3 o'clock.
So did that happen?
It happens a lot. It's been happening a lot lately.
So what happened to your dad?
I don't remember. That's the problem. I don't remember. I just remember leaving the house and he was okay. And I talked to him and I don't remember.
No.
I don't remember.
Just be honest. I know it's tough.
I can't remember. I just remember I was yelling at my dad and I left.
You were yelling at him when you left? What
Yeah.
day? What day was that?
It was Saturday.
Was it Saturday?
Yes.
Could have been another day.
No, it had been Saturday because
So when you're yelling at him, what happened?
I just,
Come on, be honest with me, Cheyenne.
I told him I'm not my mom. I'm not trying to get rid of my kid. I'm just trying to find her.
Does it make you mad when he calls your mom?
Yes. I'm not my mom.
So what?
I graduated high school. I don't do drugs. I just do what the doctor gives me.
So Cheyenne, look at me. So what happened to your dad when you were yelling at him?
I just remember yelling at him and he came at me, and that's all I remember.
I don't remember. That phrase is doing a lot of heavy lifting right now. She remembers receipts. She remembers fogger bombs. She remembers which cleaning products she bought and when. But ask her about maggots eating a body? Blank. Ask her about the shovel in the tub? Nothing. Ask her what happened to her father? Sudden amnesia. Detective Walt isn't buying it, and neither should you. Her memory conveniently fails only when the answer would incriminate her. That's not trauma. That's strategy.
At his house?
Yeah, and I remember hearing the door, like a boom.
Then what happened?
I don't remember. I was yelling as I was walking out the door. That's all I remember.
No. You know what happened. I know it's tough. Okay.
I can't remember.
Listen to how fractured that answer is. I hear sounds. A boom. I was yelling. I walked out the door. These aren't memories. These are fragments she's stitching together in real time, hoping one of them sticks. And here's what makes this so damning. Cheyenne is the one who called this meeting. She reported them missing. She invited police scrutiny. You don't initiate an investigation into your own family's disappearance and then suddenly forget how to form a sentence when asked basic follow-up questions. That's not grief. That's a script falling apart.
I'm gonna tell you something, okay? I want you to listen to this. It's very important. Okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer before and during any questioning. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand each of your rights? You understand that? Are you comfortable still answering questions?
I didn't do nothing.
But do you understand your rights?
Yes.
Okay. Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Yes or no? It's about Vicky. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, about Vicky, yeah.
I'm sorry?
Yes, about Vicky.
Okay. Are you you have her stored in your phone?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know her phone number by heart?
No.
Are you able to read? Can you read?
No.
Okay. I'm going to tell you what she tells you on a text message, okay? On July 26th, she asked you, "Hey, Shy, has your dad got home yet?" Do you remember that text?
Yeah.
Do you remember what you told her?
No.
You said, "Not yet. I talked to one of my family members and he's doing okay up there." What does that mean? I thought he didn't get it. I thought no one knew where he was.
When I reworded the question to the family member, then they go, "No, that was like a while back he was up here."
Really?
I ain't done nothing wrong.
Well, you're clearly lying to Vicky to make her think your dad's in Georgia and everything's okay, right? No, I talked to one of my family members and he's doing okay up there. So where's he at? Cheyenne, where's your dad at? Yes, you do. Can you please look at me? Where's your dad?
I don't know.
Where's your daughter?
With my dad.
Here's what happened. You love Cody so much, right? You want to marry him, right?
Yeah.
Is he the love of your life?
Yeah.
I hope so, if you want to marry him. Okay? This man you do not want to lose, right? You even said your dad said you finally got a good man, right?
Yeah.
So you're proud of that.
Yeah.
You don't want to lose him, right?
No.
But he threatened you that you're going to lose him if you don't do something about your daughter, right?
So we better help.
No, he said you better take care of this situation. You couldn't control it. You couldn't control it. You couldn't. And you were afraid of losing Cody, so you took care of it. And you're trying to make people think that your dad and your daughter are still alive by telling these fibs. Oh, I have heard from my dad that talked to one of my family members and he's doing okay up there. There's no confusion about that. That's very clear what's going on. Okay?
They just read her Miranda rights, and she responds with, "I didn't do nothing." That's not a denial. That's a reflex. And then comes the Vicky text. July 26th, she told Vicky her dad was doing okay up there in Georgia. Except she also told police she had no idea where he was. Both of those things cannot be true. The detective doesn't yell. He doesn't need to. He just reads her own words back to her and watches the walls close in. And now they're laying out the Cody angle, that she was afraid of losing him and took care of the situation. Her daughter wasn't a person to her. She was an obstacle.
Where is your dad and your daughter? What did you do with them?
I don't know where they are.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. When you got there, did it get out of control and your dad came at you or something? You had to defend yourself with your gun? I can understand that. I can understand that.
I just can't remember.
But what happened? Do you remember all these times that your dad comes at you and hits you and belittles you, but you don't remember that day you dropped your daughter off?
No, I don't remember. Like, it's like they became a different person. Like, I blacked out.
And what happened when you blacked out? You eventually woke up because you cleaned up. So what happened? And it may have been because you're mad, your dad came at you and stuff went wrong. Okay? I can understand all that, but we still need to find them. Isn't that important? Isn't that important? All I want to know from you, Cheyenne, is where are they? You do know.
I don't remember.
Okay, but what happened when you got there? Did your dad get mad at you and come at you?
Yes.
Okay, so what did you do in return? You said you have to defend yourself. What did you do?
I hit him.
With what?
My hand, and I punched him.
And then what?
He got pissed at me and I was on the floor and I don't remember.
And then you killed him. In self-defense. Did you kill him in self-defense or did you do it because you hate him?
I don't remember. That's
Yes, you do. You did it in self-defense, right?
My dad.
This is a grown man. Can you beat your dad up?
No.
Okay, so you're a girl, right? Just tell me what happened.
My dad is really strong.
I know. So tell me what you had to do. Tell me what you had to do. What did you have to do?
I don't know. I blacked out.
But when you came to, what was going on? Where were you?
I was in my car.
And what happened at the house?
I remember.
What did you do to your dad? Where did you take your dad?
I don't even know.
Is he under the house?
No.
Is he under the house?
No, sir.
Where's he at then?
I don't.
Is he in the woods? Where's your daughter at?
I don't know.
What did you do with her? Did you hide her?
I remember my dad pushed my daughter really hard away from us and she was trying to break him up and hurting me.
What happened when he pushed your daughter? Where'd she fly into?
She fell into the knife that he always carries.
She fell into the knife? Yeah. He had a knife in his hand?
Yeah.
And did that hurt her?
I don't know, I don't remember.
Well, she fell into it, like, where did it hit her at?
In her neck.
The knife hit her in her neck? Okay, and then...
I don't know if it went by her neck or what.
Did you see blood?
I don't remember that. I don't remember. I just remember I blacked out.
But did she start screaming? You have to remember that. You remember.
I heard her scream, yeah.
Okay, and what did you do?
Mommy!
So did you try to get your dad off of her, or what? What did you do next? What happened next?
I don't remember. I just remember that my daddy was on me.
Okay, and how'd you get him off you? Did you have to stab him?
I pushed him. I don't know. I did something. That's all I remember, and then I blacked out.
Okay, but you didn't black out all the way. You remember some stuff because you remember your daughter falling in your dad's knife. How was your dad holding the knife?
He'd go like this, and I was putting it like away.
If you're saying that this is a self-defense issue, okay. If that's what you're saying, okay. But just tell me the whole story so I can understand it. Tell me the whole story, and I can understand. So I understand. If you're saying it's self-defense, tell me the whole story that makes sense.
Self-defense. That's where she's landing now. And watch the construction of this story. Her father had a knife, and her 5-year-old daughter somehow fell into it. That is not how physics works. That is not how any of this works. Meredith was a child, a small child, and Cheyenne wants us to believe she accidentally impaled herself during a struggle she conveniently blacked out for. The detective keeps pressing because he knows what forensic evidence actually showed. This isn't memory loss. This is a rough draft of a defense that will never survive a courtroom.
Okay?
Every time I go to my dad's house, even Cody can tell you that I always cower because my dad is always yelling at me.
I believe that.
And
Cody did tell me that. I believe that.
I'm always afraid he's going to do something to me.
Okay, so what happened when you got there? Did he come at you with a knife?
Yes.
And then what did you do?
I kicked him in his balls, and then he got pissed off even more, and I wound up on the floor, and Lucky was just looking at me, and I looked at my dog like, come and help me, Lucky, help.
Where was Lucky at?
He was cowering in the kitchen.
Was he in a cage, or?
Now, Lucky can't really hear all that well. My daughter stuck her fingers in her ears and now she's deaf.
She's deaf?
Yeah, because my daughter kept shoving her fingers in her ears. And
so Lucky won't come help you, so what'd you have to do?
I remember that he came this way with this, and then I put it away, and my daughter was...
Say that again?
He came at me like this.
With a knife?
Yeah, like, and I put it away. Like, he got this on and pushed it this way, and then my daughter was coming this way, and that's all I remember is you pushing her away.
But he had a knife in his hand?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, did you see blood on your daughter?
I don't remember that. At all.
So how did you get your dad off you? I mean, how did it end?
I don't remember that.
Cheyenne, if you're saying self-defense, then I would like to know what happened, okay? If you're saying he's attacking you, you can do whatever you need to do to save your life. That's okay. I need to know that because I don't believe you blacked out.
I remember that I had blood on me.
You had blood on you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
I had blood on me because I pushed it back towards him, and I don't know if it went into him, but I had blood on me.
Okay.
I don't know.
And towards your daughter, is she quiet now?
Yeah.
Because did she get stabbed?
I think so. I don't know. I didn't.
I mean, if she got stabbed, there had to be blood on her. But if he did it, then he did it. But
I don't know. I'm so scared.
I know you're scared, but we need to find them. Cheyenne, I just want you to tell me where
You're
they're at.
bad. You're so bad. Oh, I thought he changed what he did.
You thought he changed?
Yeah, because he acts different with her. It's like he's trying to make amends for what he did to me.
Like he's nice to her, but not you?
Yeah.
Okay. I understand that.
You're the one who spread your legs for that bastard.
Say that again?
You're the one who spread your legs for that bastard talking about her daddy. And I was just drunk and I didn't.
Well, he said you spread your legs for
Her daddy.
her daddy? Okay.
I was drunk. We just had a miscarriage and I became into a depression and I just drank.
I understand.
I drank so much that I passed out, and then a couple months later I found out I was pregnant with Meredith, and I dumped him because I got scared that he was going to hurt me too, like he was already slapping me around. And it was weird to have that. And then my daddy always hits me whenever I'm going to try to read, because I can't read because I can't read under pressure. I'm a very slow reader because my daddy never took the time to teach me.
Yeah, I believe that, Cheyenne. I think you're telling some of the truth now. What?
She just blamed her reading ability on her father, in the middle of explaining how her daughter died. Cheyenne Nicole Jesse was convicted on 2 counts of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison. No parole, no appeal that stuck. And what stays with me isn't her excuses. It's that Meredith was 5 years old. She trusted her mother. Mark was trying to be present in his daughter's life despite their complicated history. They deserved protection. They deserved someone who saw them as people and not problems. The system failed them before the justice system finally held someone accountable.
Take your sip of your water real quick. I'll tell you that'll help you. Just take deep breaths.
I need my inhaler.
Where's it at?
But I need to go get a new one from the Walmart.
Where's your inhaler at?
Walmart, North Lakeland.
No, where's your one at now? You don't have one?
Well, I ran out. I don't spray no more.
Okay. Do you have asthma? I want to get asthma.
Oh my, I barely grew out of it for a while. As long as I didn't run too fast.
Have you ever tried to use Primatene Mist?
No.
Hey, so what? after your
I'm
dad...
sorry, I'm just, I got
understand.
scared.
I understand.
don't want to go to jail or something like this.
Well, you're saying self-defense, so I need to know where you put them. Are they under the house?
No, they were in the shed at the landlady's house. I didn't know what to do.
They're in the shed of the landlady's house?
No, I didn't know what to do.
Are they in totes or what?
Yes.
Okay. How long were they in the house before you put them in totes?
I don't remember that day. Everything went blurry and I was freaking out.
When you say, hey, I need to hear you, okay, so I understand. Are they in totes, like storage totes?
Yes.
Okay. And when did you put them in there that same day?
No, I freaked. I left because I don't remember exactly what happened.
Where's your landlady's shed at?
On her property.
Like, is it out back?
Yes.
Okay. Is it locked?
Yes.
Do you have the key to it?
Yes.
Where's the key at?
On me right now.
Can I have it, please?
I don't know what I'm going to do or
Well, I need to, first thing first is I need to get them out of there, okay? So I need you to give me the key. Is it in your jacket pocket?
Oh my goodness.
Did you get cut during this?
No.
Okay. Where's your key thingy at?
No, my belt.
Can you get it off, please? Oh, I see him dangling there. Can you take this off, please, and show me which key it is? Are you worried about going to jail for self-defense, according to you, or are you worried about getting your daughter and your dad in the right place? Especially your daughter.
Which one it is. It's somewhere in there. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you waste your money and stuff. I'm just scared.
Waste my money?
The state money or whatever.
Don't worry about money. We're trying to find your daughter, okay?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to lie. I was just so scared. I don't know what I did.
Did you stab your daughter?
No.
Who stabbed your daughter?
My daddy did.
Who stabbed your dad?
I didn't protect her. I tried to get to her.
Did you stab him in the neck?
No, I stabbed him in the heart.
You stabbed him in the heart? Where's the knife at?
I don't know what to do with that one.
Where did the knife come from?
My pocket. Is this where he grabbed it from?
He took the knife out of your pocket? Show me what the knife looks like.
It looks like what Cody has. We have matching knives.
Well, I don't know what, is it a folding knife?
Yes.
How long is the blade on it?
Like that blade.
Okay. And you stabbed him in the heart with that?
Yeah.
How did you get the knife away from him?
I hit him in the head with the freaking thingy-majigger on the floor that he has.
What thing?
It's like, it's the thing that's underneath the, and I can't think of the name of it right now. I can't think of it.
Is it a piece of wood? Is it a piece of metal?
It is a piece of wood.
What is it?
It looks like, it kind of looks like the ball that Meredith had.
Like it's just a ball?
Yeah.
A ball of wood? Where did it come from? Like off a piece of furniture?
Yeah.
And where was that? I need you to look at me so I can understand you. Where was that at?
But she was playing with it like a ball.
Who was?
Meredith.
Okay.
And my dad got mad at her for playing with it because apparently he was trying to fix something.
This is when you were there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She's handing over the key. Right there. After everything, the dead rats and the raccoon and the fogger bombs and the selective amnesia, she just gives them the key to the landlady's shed where she stashed the bodies in totes. Storage totes. And the detective doesn't flinch. He just asks if she's more worried about jail or about getting her daughter to the right place. That's not a question. That's a mirror. And she looked right into it.
So you bashed him in the head with a ball?
Yeah.
Okay. What part was this? After he took the knife?
Yeah, the knife and I stabbed him in the chest and said, you killed her.
You stabbed her down in the chest after you said you killed her?
And then she said, she's not talking to me. And stabbed like that again.
Where was she stabbed at?
I didn't really look because I freaked out.
But where'd you see the blood at?
On the floor, all over the place.
Where at? What room did this happen in?
The living room. And then next thing you know, he grabs my gun that I had.
You grabbed your gun?
Yeah.
After you stabbed him?
Yeah, because he was still alive. He said, I'm going to kill you too, bitch.
Where was your gun at?
It was underneath the couch.
Your pistol?
Yeah.
Did he shoot you?
No, I pulled it. I pushed it down and he fired it on his neck.
He shot his neck?
Yeah.
Okay, so you stabbed him in the heart, then you pushed the gun. Was he sitting down?
No, he fell on the couch when I pushed him off of me.
The couch or the love seat?
The left seat part. I call it a couch.
He was on the left seat?
Mm-hmm.
How'd the blood get on the couch?
That's where Meredith fell.
Okay. Did you put the sheets there? When did you put the sheets there? Was it later on?
Yeah, no, I freaked out. I didn't know what to do.
No, I know you freaked out, but when did you put them on there?
I don't know how to handle these things. I don't know how to handle stress.
Okay.
That's why I was trying to give her grandmother really. I was trying to talk to him about maybe put her house, so it's like,
Cheyenne, you don't have to look at me if you don't want to, but I need you to uncover your hands so I can hear you. Okay? Can you please do that for me? You can keep looking down, but you gotta move your hands. I can't hear you. I want to make sure I understand everything you're saying, okay? So, what hand did your dad have the gun in?
The left hand.
Was he left-handed?
That was how he could reach underneath there to grab it with the left hand.
And it was underneath the cushion or the couch?
The couch itself.
Or the love seat?
He's on the left side of the couch right here. He's reaching underneath the couch. And then it's like, oh shit, that's where I put the gun.
And he pulled it out?
He pulled it out.
And
Then I pushed him and he
so he's sitting on the love seat, right?
he's laying down on low seat.
Okay, so
He's holding this hand.
are you standing up?
Yes, I'm on my knees.
Can you show me? Exactly? I'm gonna lay on the floor, and you get on your knees. I need to understand this, Cheyenne. Can you show me exactly what he did?
I leaned over and I pulled it and I pushed it towards his neck when he fired.
I can't hear you. I need you to move your arms, please. He's laying on the couch, right? Look at me. Cheyenne. He's laying on the couch, right? And you're right here on your knees? He's this way? Okay. So he's on the couch, or on the love seat. The couch is right here?
I didn't destroy evidence. I just got scared.
But the couch is right here?
Yes.
So where are you at? Right here?
Right here.
Can you just stand up? You don't have to get on your knees, but can you stand up exactly where you were? No, can you stand up, please? So he reaches down underneath the couch and grabs the gun with his left hand? Okay. Does he point at you?
The couch was closer to each other's.
No, I understand. Does he point at you? Tell me what you gotta show. I need you to show me exactly what he did. This is very important. No, you need to get up. Can you get up, please? It's very important.
Even if I don't want to just didn't feel like that.
The gun went off here?
Yes.
Okay.
Now he's on the floor with her. Detectives down on his knees, asking her to physically reenact how her father allegedly shot himself in the leg while lying on a love seat and reaching for a gun with his left hand. And she can't do it. She literally cannot demonstrate the physics of her own story. This is what happens when you invent a self-defense narrative without thinking through basic spatial geometry. The body doesn't lie, even when the mouth won't stop.
Did that kill him?
No, he was pushing more like that and then fired a couple more rounds. Because I was scared that he was going to try to kill me.
But meanwhile, Meredith is laying on the couch.
Yeah.
Is she dead? You think? I mean, at that point,
I didn't hear anything from her. I don't know what happened.
was the knife still stuck in her?
No.
Because it was your dad's chest.
Yeah. Every day I'm like,
Is the knife still there?
no. I got it.
Let me ask you this: does Cody have anything to do with this?
No, he don't.
Well, how did you get them over there by yourself?
They didn't wait up my.
Well, how did you get them over there? Did you put them in the car?
I put him in the Suburban.
Are they still in the Suburban?
No.
How did you lift them up there by yourself?
I slid him into the back when I let the truck up.
So if
You ever get tissue?
yeah. How did you get them up in the truck, in the Suburban? Sorry. We didn't know that was in there.
I don't know, it hurt.
When you had the Suburban backed up to the house, did anybody show up at the house that day?
I don't remember.
Okay, but how did you get them up into the Suburban? You just picked them up?
No, I just slid it. It slid.
So you had the back doors open up to the porch or something?
Yeah.
And they slid right in?
Yeah.
Then how did you lift them out of the Suburban into the shed?
I put Meredith down first and I just slid Daddy down on top.
He's on top of hers?
Yes.
Okay.
I just got scared. I didn't know what to do and I freaked
So
out.
Cody doesn't even know about this?
No.
Does his dad know about this?
No, I don't want to know.
I'm not telling you I'm going to tell them, but I just need to make sure they don't know about this.
No, sir.
Cody has nothing to do with this.
No, sir.
Well, what's up with the shovel that was that you took out of the bathtub?
I was trying to clean up the blood because I was freaking out and I figured it.
You were freaking out and you were trying to clean up the blood?
Yeah.
But what was the shovel? What did you use that for?
To shovel up the crap that they left there.
What crap?
When the body dies, it releases the feces and rigor mortis and stuff because it was a couple of days that I freaked out and I left that day and then I went back because I didn't know what to do. I was freaking out.
So after you put them in, oh, you read that online? Is that what you said?
Yeah. No, I didn't read it online. It's just something I seen on Criminal Minds.
Okay. But you actually saw that for real because they were dead. And did you clean it up with that shovel after you put them in the containers?
Yeah.
Okay. And where did you put all that stuff at? In the containers with them? Or did you throw it out in the yard or under the house?
I don't remember what I did exactly. I was just freaking
Is anything
out.
under the house, like the knife?
No, there's just blood that dripped out through the floor because it was cracked in the floor.
So what were you going over to the house for over there then? To try to bury the blood or something?
I was just curious if anything was down there, and I did see animals, dead animals.
Criminal Minds. She just cited Criminal Minds as her source for understanding what happens to a decomposing body. Not medical training, not unfortunate life experience. A CBS procedural drama. And then in the same breath, she admits she saw it for real because the bodies were actually decomposing in front of her. She's describing shoveling human remains into storage containers and sliding her father's corpse on top of her 5-year-old daughter, like she's loading groceries. The martial arts self-defense claim from earlier? Gone. Now we're watching someone confess to body disposal while pretending the deaths were still accidents.
My dad was aggressive to me. He's been aggressive to me a lot lately.
But that's not what happened. You murdered your daughter.
No, I didn't. He
Yes,
was
you
on
did.
top of me and I stabbed her because I was trying to get away from him.
That story doesn't even make any sense.
He came at
And the
me.
way you made it sound, Cheyenne, to be honest with you, like you're like a karate master.
Cheyenne, here's the issue. If this man, that's a grown man, and he's strong, because you say he lifts motors and stuff, he's on top of you and he's wielding a knife, you're not taking it from him. You're going to have some cuts on you. There's no way, with a couple mixed martial arts classes, that you took it away. So put your hands down for me for a second. There's no way that happened.
Yes, it did. It did.
Listen. You're telling me a grown man was on you, punching you in the face with a knife, and you got no cuts, no lacerations, no marks. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. There's no way that happened.
Yes, it is.
Cheyenne, there's no way. No way with just a couple classes you know how to de-arm someone with a knife and them not be able to cut you. So how did it really play out? Why were you angry? I'm sure he was being rude with you or saying stuff to you or being mean to you, but I don't believe he got on top of you with a knife. I don't believe that happened.
Yes, he did.
The evidence suggests otherwise.
But that's what happened. It really happened.
Listen, I've seen training videos. I've been a part of training where people wield knives. If somebody's wielding a knife, you're going to have defensive wounds if you were trying to protect yourself. You have nothing. You have no marks, which would indicate you were defending yourself doing anything. So that, listen, there's no way. There's just no way. Not from a man that can lift, well, you said, motors.
He doesn't lift motors anymore, the man he does.
I know, but listen, you said he's a strong man. And he punched you in the face. And he had a knife. He was attacking you with it. But you don't have any knife attack marks. You don't have any marks. Nobody's indicated they saw you that week. You saw Vicky. You saw this Josh, the one that lives on the property. You saw Cody. You saw Cody's family. Nobody's indicated you ever had marks. She complained, or you had bruises on your face, or your forearms, or your hands. Nobody said that. So the evidence suggests that that's not the truth.
That's what happened. That's what happened. That's what honestly thought happened. This is the
It
real
didn't happen that
one.
way.
Yes, it did.
No, ma'am.
Yes, it did.
It doesn't make sense. What show did you say you guys watch all the time?
Criminal Minds and CSI and all them.
So Criminal Minds and CSI and all that stuff you watch. Does it
Whatever.
make sense to you that this would happen? Somebody have a knife on top of somebody else and they'd have no defensive wounds on their forearms or hands?
I know karate a little bit from watching all the
Listen.
TV. And I
You
didn't
don't-
want to do.
It didn't happen.
Yes, it
You don't,
did.
you don't watch karate movies and all of a sudden become a karate expert. It don't happen.
I know what I know. That's what I did. My arms were flaring around.
So how many stab wounds is your dad gonna have?
I don't remember. I just remember I got it from him and
No defensive wounds. That's what breaks this wide open. A grown man allegedly attacks her with a knife, and she disarms him using techniques she learned from watching Chinese movies. Not martial arts training, not actual self-defense classes. Kung fu films. And somehow in this struggle, she walks away without a single cut on her forearms or hands. The detective lays it out perfectly. Everyone she saw that week would have noticed bruises or lacerations. Nobody did. Because there was no attack. The physical evidence doesn't just contradict her story, it erases it entirely.
Listen. He didn't take your knife from your pocket.
yeah, he did.
He didn't have the knife. He went on top of you.
Yes, he did.
Not with the knife. Not trying to hurt you with a knife.
Yes, he did.
Shine. When you're telling the truth, you act completely different than when you're not.
I'm telling you the
You're
truth.
not. You're absolutely not.
I'm telling you what I know.
That right there is the moment the whole thing collapses. When you're telling the truth, you act completely different than when you're not. The detective isn't guessing. He's watched her cycle through dead raccoons and fogger bombs and Chinese martial arts movies and selective amnesia for hours. He knows exactly what her truth looks like, because he's never seen it. Cheyenne Nicole Jesse was convicted of 2 counts of first-degree murder. She is currently serving a life sentence. The jury didn't need long. When the physical evidence says one thing, and the defendant says another, and the defendant's own behavior confirms the evidence at every single turn, that's not a difficult deliberation. What strikes me about this entire interrogation is how methodical Detective Blue Walt and his colleagues were. They never raised their voices. They never lost their composure. They just kept asking questions and letting her answers do the work. Every lie she told created a new thread they could pull. The raccoon, the shovel in the bathtub, the body in a barrel conversation she couldn't quite remember having, the self-defense claim with 0 defensive wounds. They gave her rope, and she used every inch of it. And that's what effective interrogation looks like. Not theatrics, not intimidation. Just patience and evidence, and the quiet certainty that comes from knowing the facts before you walk into the room. The phone records were already pulled. The cell tower pings were already mapped. The blood evidence was already collected. All they needed was for her to keep talking until her story became physically impossible, which took about 15 minutes. But I don't want to end this on her. I refuse to let her be the last word in this story. Mark Ivan Weekley was 63 years old. He was a father who tried to maintain a relationship with his daughter, despite whatever complications that entailed. He deserved better than to become a problem someone needed to solve. Meredith Leanne Jesse was 5 years old. She deserved a mother who saw her as a daughter instead of an obstacle. She deserved to grow up. She deserved a life. What Cheyenne took from them cannot be measured in years served. A life sentence is accountability. It is not restoration. Nothing restores what was lost in that house. Cases like this one remind me why I do this work the way I do it. The victims come first. The evidence tells the story. And the people who thought they could lie their way out of what they did get to watch their own words bury them. That's the only justice we have left to offer. If you want to see another case where someone thought they were smarter than the evidence and found out exactly how wrong they were, check out the video about the girlfriend who hid her victim's body in the trunk of a Mustang. Cops were already on to her before she even finished the cover-up. Same energy, same outcome. Links on screen. Thank you for watching this one all the way through. I'll see you in the next case.